Have you ever been your own harshest critic? When things go wrong or you make a mistake, how do you treat yourself? Are you kind, understanding, and patient? Or do you tend to beat yourself up and dwell on what went wrong? It is so easy to be kind and understanding to our friends when they were going through difficult times. We offer words of encouragement, comfort, and compassion, reminding them that everyone makes mistakes and that they are worthy of love and understanding. But when it comes to ourselves, we often struggle to extend the same kindness. Kristin Neff, a pioneering researcher in the field of self-compassion, teaches us that we should treat ourselves with the same kindness, care, and understanding that we would offer a good friend in times of difficulty. According to Neff, self-compassion is not about indulging in self-pity or letting ourselves off the hook when we mess up. It's about accepting our flaws, treating ourselves with warmth, and acknowledging that we are all imperfect yet deserving of love and respect. But how do we practice self-compassion, especially when we've been conditioned to be critical of ourselves? How can we begin to treat ourselves with the same kindness we offer to others, especially when it feels uncomfortable or foreign? Let's explore the transformative power of self-compassion today, and if you feel inspired, make sure to subscribe to the channel to continue learning how to cultivate a kinder relationship with yourself. In our fast-paced, achievement-oriented world, many of us have internalized the idea that success, perfection, and constant productivity are the only ways to be worthy. We often tie our value to what we accomplish, and when we fall short, we judge ourselves harshly. We live under the illusion that self-criticism will motivate us to improve or do better. But in reality, it often has the opposite effect. When we are overly critical of ourselves, we can become paralyzed by shame, fear, and self-doubt. This is where self-compassion can make a world of difference. Kristin Neff explains that self-compassion is not about excusing our mistakes or allowing ourselves to act without accountability. Rather, it's about responding to our failures, flaws, and struggles with the same kindness we would offer a friend. Instead of berating ourselves, we acknowledge that we are human, that we make mistakes, and that these imperfections do not diminish our worth. When we approach ourselves with compassion, we create space for growth, healing, and self-acceptance. We stop seeing ourselves as failures when we make mistakes, and we start seeing ourselves as imperfect human beings who are deserving of love and care. The first step in cultivating self-compassion is recognizing when we are being critical of ourselves. Notice how you speak to yourself when things go wrong. Are your words harsh, judgmental, or demeaning? Do you hold yourself to impossible standards, or do you allow for the possibility of imperfection? Once we recognize this critical voice, we can begin to shift it. Instead of saying, "I'm so stupid for making that mistake," we might say, "I'm only human. Everyone makes mistakes, and I can learn from this." This shift in language can make a huge difference in how we perceive ourselves and our challenges. It is a way of reminding ourselves that our mistakes don't define us. They are just part of the process of learning and growing. In moments of difficulty, think about how you would treat a friend who was going through something similar. Would you criticize them for making a mistake, or would you offer comfort and understanding? Most likely, you would offer them words of encouragement, reminding them that they are worthy of kindness and love despite their imperfections. Why not offer that same compassion to yourself? Another key aspect of self-compassion is embracing our vulnerability. Too often we hide our struggles, fears, and imperfections, thinking that they make us weak or unworthy. But the truth is, vulnerability is a powerful and necessary part of the human experience. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and acknowledge our struggles, we open ourselves up to healing and growth. Kristin Neff suggests that we should treat ourselves with the same care and understanding we would offer a close friend. This means accepting our flaws without judgment and offering ourselves comfort when we face challenges. It means acknowledging our pain, frustration, or disappointment without belittling ourselves or trying to fix everything immediately. Rather than suppressing our emotions, self-compassion encourages us to sit with them, to validate them, and to give ourselves the kindness we need to move forward. It's also important to remember that self-compassion doesn't mean avoiding responsibility. It doesn't mean giving ourselves a free pass or letting ourselves off the hook for things we could improve. Instead, self-compassion allows us to hold ourselves accountable in a loving way. It encourages us to approach our mistakes with curiosity, learning from them rather than being consumed by guilt or shame. When we approach ourselves with compassion, we are more likely to take responsibility for our actions and make positive changes. We do so not because we are afraid of judgment or failure, but because we know that we are worthy of a better outcome, and we are willing to treat ourselves with the care that will lead to growth. So how can we start integrating self-compassion into our daily lives? The first step is awareness, paying attention to the way we speak to ourselves, especially during difficult moments. Once we become aware of our inner dialogue, we can consciously choose to shift it toward kindness and understanding. Next, practice self-compassionate touch. When you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, place your hand over your heart, take a few deep breaths, and offer yourself a moment of kindness. Imagine you are comforting a friend who is in pain, and offer yourself the same care. This simple act can calm your nervous system and remind you that you are deserving of love, no matter the circumstances. Lastly, be patient with yourself. Self-compassion is a practice, not an overnight transformation. It takes time and consistent effort to shift our habitual patterns of self-criticism. But with each step, we move closer to a kinder, more loving relationship with ourselves. As we conclude this reflection, I want to ask you, how would your life change if you treated yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you offer to your closest friends? What would it feel like to embrace your imperfections and offer yourself love in times of struggle? Remember, you are worthy of the same care, compassion, and understanding that you give to others. By practicing self-compassion, you can transform your relationship with yourself and create a foundation for emotional wellness and inner peace. If this video inspired you, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next step in your journey towards self-compassion. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you practice self-compassion in your life? I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, may you treat yourself with the kindness you truly deserve.